There's a story about an East Texas lumber mill that's very near and dear to my heart. I'll paraphrase it. It goes something like this. A successful lumberman came into a small town in East Texas and built a lumber mill there. And it grew and became a large operation, very successful. And it was an ongoing operation. Everyone was happy, the employees, the executive staff. They continued thriving in business. All went well. And eventually the man passed away, and he left the lumber mill to his wife, where she basically just picked up the ball and continued on. She didn't have to do anything, she just had to basically own the lumber mill. And that's what she did. She became the good owner of the lumber mill, where they continued in their operation, and they continued in their daily sales and their success. And she, being a family-oriented person, made sure that her employees weren't only well compensated, but well taken care of. Oh, they received a paycheck, but in addition to that, they received extra care when medical attention was needed. She was extremely concerned about pregnant wives of the employees. So she became very involved. That was her cause in life. Until one day, the employees were convinced by some outside people that they needed to vote yes on unionizing. An outside group comes in, takes a look around, and decides, we need to rally these people. They don't know what they're missing out on. Well, they need to unionize. Well, she, in very short order, held a company meeting and stated, if you unionize, I'll shut the plant down. She went on to say she didn't have any need for the union. She didn't want to deal with them. She didn't want the headaches. And furthermore, she wasn't in a position to have to deal with them. She didn't owe any money on the company. It was hers. And she had full authority to do with her company whatever she wanted to do. It was her company. So she said, vote union, I'm shutting it down. Well, guess what? The story goes that they did. The union people persuaded the employees, oh, she's bluffing. There's no way anyone would shut down an operation of this size. It's too big. There's too much. She's bluffing, and we're going to call her bluff. Well, they voted yes, and she shut the company down. Interesting story, huh? Now, there are a lot of pro-union people out there. I understand this, folks. I understand you're pro-union. But I wonder how many of you are pro-union simply because that's the way it is. I mean, Dad was in the union, Grandpa was in the union, so of course I'm going to be in the union. Or worse yet, I have to join the union because I can't get a job unless I do. Wow, have you ever really stopped and thought about that one, folks? You can't get a job unless you first join the union. Now, let's talk about that for just a minute. Let's say you're an employer. It's your company. You built the company from ground up. I mean, you created the widget like we talked about in our second vlog. You created the widget and your company became a great success. And now you hire 500, 1,000, 1,500 employees. I mean, you make money hand over fist, no doubt. Big company. You've long since incorporated, so of course you fall under the category of a corporation. And you're not just a corporation, you're a rich corporation with a bunch of employees. Everything seems to be going well with your company until a couple of guys come in and start rallying up your employees, making them feel like they're being treated bad, taken advantage of. As a matter of fact, in some cases, even being made slaves out of. Get them all stirred up and convinced, and the only way to deal with it is to unionize. Now, is that really fair? What's happening here? Let's look at it from the employer's part. He's got a company. It's an ongoing operation. Everyone's happy. He's happy. He makes a lot of money hand over fist, like we talked about in the second vlog. He even gets to go and buy himself a yacht. Well, the employees are happy. You have to understand, these people don't want to have their own business. They don't want it. They don't want the headache. To them, it's a bother. Even the mere thought of owning and operating and managing and putting up with all the things you've got to put up with to run your own business is just so far beyond what they want to do. And when asked what they want to do, really, they just want to get up and go to work and come home to their families and have fun. Some of them want to go and coach baseball, and others want to go to the Lions Club meeting that night, or whatever. They want to go and live their own lives, not have to sit around and be bothered with the headache of their own business. That's perfectly okay. It's a great symbiotic relationship because the employer, he has a business. He's got a business that he has to worry with. And the employees are the people that he made deals with. They came to him and said, "Sir, I'll sell you my services for $10, $15, or $20 an hour." Whatever it is they worked out. And everyone's happy. And now the union wants to come in and take over the employees. Now, let's think about this for a minute. They don't just want to take over the employees because they're magnanimous and want to, help. They want to cabbage on to a portion of that employee's paycheck. They call it dues. Okay, well, you vote union and you're going to get all these benefits. Now, the union dues are only such and such amount. You can fill in the blank of whatever that is. Some union dues are higher than others. Some union dues, I've been told, are just, unreasonably high. Nonetheless, all unions have dues. They're organizations that have come in and set themselves up as a service for the employee, and the employee pays for that service by paying their monthly dues or their weekly paycheck due. However it's done, it's automatically deducted out of your paycheck. I mean, there's no choice in it, especially for those people who cannot get a job without becoming a member of the union first. So my question for the day is, in today's society, as compared to the society of yesteryear, I believe that there probably was a time when we needed such things as unions. I also believe that unions operated a little bit differently at first, but I believe that unions have become corrupted. I believe that the idea behind the union has become corrupted through the years. And I believe that unions are granted undue power and privilege and funding. And I believe that in a lot of different cases, the executive membership of unions are paid pretty high wages. They get paid a pretty darn good paycheck, if you will. They make a lot of money. They like to be on the side of all of those people talking about the quote corporate fat cats. You ought to see some of the paychecks that some of the union executives bring in. It might make you change your mind a little bit about the ideology behind fat cats. If you own your business and you've grown your business, and if everybody's happy within your business, well, it's your company. It's okay for you to be a fat cat. That's why you made the company. And we live in a free market society. Someone else can go and create a very like company and compete with you. That way you may not be the only fat cat making that particular widget. But is it fair for an organization to come in on nothing more than a promise and automatically have the very easy means to a little portion of your paycheck? They didn't have to do anything other than show up. The hard work's been done. The company's been built. All the burning of the midnight oil, all of the hard work and years of just labor and putting out fires by the owner, that's all done. Now we're a big corporation and everything's flowing like a well-oiled machine. And the union now takes a look and says, "Yep, they're ripe and ready for us. We will now step in and negotiate on behalf of the employees." Well, anyway, that's the question of the day, folks. Is it as necessary today for a union as it might have been long ago? Is there a difference? Is there a difference in our society today and perhaps a lesser need for unions as compared to the way things used to be? Hey, place your answer in the comment section below, or go to TomZom.com and join in on our forum, or you can even register and enter our chat room. Either way, we'd love to hear from you, and be sure and tune in tomorrow, folks, as we come at you with yet another vlog in our series of vlogs that we're going to run between now and the election. I appreciate you joining in and listening. We'll see you tomorrow.